What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so as we all know, Joel Embiid was having a career year, which is hard to imagine because of the year that he had last year, but at least during the regular season. He was having a career year, averaging 35 points per game, 11 rebounds, can't remember how many assists, maybe 4 assists, and, excellent shooting splits. But he went down with an injury. He went down with an injury against I think it was the Golden State Warriors. And apparently he suffered a torn, or at least an injured meniscus. Some reports say it was torn. Others say that it was injured in some way. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I know I've read before that if a meniscus isn't completely torn, that it can heal without surgery, but it could take 6 weeks. Whereas with a torn meniscus, he's going to have to need surgery, which is going to put him out for the entire season. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Whatever. Draymond Green, when Joel Embiid first suffered an injury, chalked it up to, he blamed it on the new rules, saying that certain guys are pushing the limit, and as a result, they're getting hurt because of these new rules. This is what he had to say. He said, on Joel Embiid maybe not being eligible for MVP because he may miss too many games. He said, I think it's actually quite bullshit. Now we got one of our premier faces in this league, the MVP of our league, possibly hurt because he's forcing it. Well, that might be true, perhaps. Maybe it is true that Joel Embiid was forcing things because of the specter of losing his eligibility to become MVP for a second straight year. But at the same time, what do you think the players of the past were doing? Why do you think the players of the past had shorter careers? Why do you think the players of the past played hurt? They had to. There was no low managing back then. The person who started that bullshit, unfortunately, everybody says LeBron, Kawhi, it was actually Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich made it permissible to load manage. Kawhi made it permissible to do it chronically. But it is what it is. The players' greed, these players taking games off, you know what I'm saying, when they could be playing in the past, and not so recent past is what I mean. When I say the past, last few years, they led to this. The Ben Simmons, the Kawhi Leonard's, all these dudes, Joel Embiid too, to a certain extent. All these players who've been coasting and taking games off, not giving a fuck that fans pay all this money. You had superstars, Kevin Durant, LeBron James too. Even though there are some games when they're injured. Yes, there are some games that hurt, but there's games when these guys can play and they just chose not to. And honestly, what's been going on is a lot of these guys have been playing the bare minimum. To the point where routinely Kevin Durant was only playing 47, 48, 49 games. LeBron 55, 56 games. And that was becoming the norm. That was becoming the fucking norm. Then you start hearing players saying, oh, the season should be shortened to 62 games. And you had people in the media saying it should be. How the fuck do you figure that? These people be better athletes, superior to the athletes of the past. With commercial jets and advanced medicine, advanced surgery, advanced every fucking thing. All these stress relievers, drugs, weed, the best, tightest pussies ever. You know what I'm saying? All these stress relievers. And yet somehow the players of the past are able to play 75, 80 games. Why can't these guys play 80 games? And by the way, how is it a travesty for a guy to play less than 65 games to be an MVP candidate? How you figure that? From my recollection, since the league has been at 82 games, there's only been one guy that's won the MVP award playing less than 65 games, and that was Bill Walton, who won it in 78 playing 58 games. But the reason why he won it is a special category, because Portland finished 58-24 that year. So you say, well, what difference does that make? Well, this is why. Bill Walton went down in game 60. He had missed 2 games, just 2 games that year. That's when he broke his leg. Before Bill Walton broke his leg, Portland was 50-10. Matter of fact, it was game 61, excuse me. Portland was 50-10 coming into game 61. And that's the game. No, what is that? Yeah, game 61. So they were into their 61st game when Bill Walton got hurt. They were 50-10. 50-10. They probably was on pace to win 67, 68 games. Afterwards, they went only 8 and what is that? 8-14 the rest of the way. And that was the end of what could have been potentially a mini Trailblazers dynasty. So that's why they gave an MVP award. But other than that, to win the MVP award, man, generally you got to play at least 70 games. Preferably 72 or more. So no. Draymond Green is absolutely 100% incorrect here. And like Stephen A. Smith said, you guys signed off on this. So don't be complaining now. You shouldn't have to fucking play to get these incentives and earn certain shit. You can't be at work in a regular job and miss 100 days in a season, or in a year I should say, not season, 100 days in a year, and think you're going to be considered a model exemplary employee. Fuck that. We got to come to work. Y'all need to take y'all overpaid asses to work. Simple as that.